pleasure to have been involved in the event so far. As I mentioned before, though, we still do have one final game remaining. Let's actually take a look at what that game is right now.
Yeah.
Ah, Tetris Ultimate! Ah!
So much fun.
It's
I have a lot of the same feelings that I did before when I heard that Gauntlet was going to be here for Tetris as well. Tetris is the reason that I am a gamer. Tetris was the first game that I ever played. My grandparents bought an original Nintendo for us and only bought Tetris at the time.
No
so
way.
that is the first game I ever played, and I am super excited that it's what's going to end our tournament today.
It was one of my first two. It came with my Game Boy.
Yeah! Oh, yes! Dude, I was a Tetris fiend, and it is awesome. And this Tetris is going to be a little bit different than your normal Tetris. So we're going to start things with a series of competitions. We actually have 3 different rounds of competition for the finals.
Wow, so not just basic here. This
Oh,
is insane
no.
Ultimate Tetris.
Oh, yes. So we're going to start with a mode that will be familiar to everyone. It is just normal Tetris. We have 3 minutes. All 4 of our competitors will actually be competing side by side. Whoever gets the most lines in those 3 minutes is victorious. We're actually going to rank the players in the order that they receive lines in. Then for the second round, we're going to pair them off into competitions, one-on-one competitions in sprint mode. So what we're going to do is we'll pair the first place versus the fourth place, the second place versus the third place.
Oh.
Okay? Now, this new mode, they're going to have to compete to see who can get the quickest to 40 lines completed. Then the winner of each of those matches will be sent into the grand finals, where they will actually play a competitive Tetris mode where they can sling abilities and spells at each other to make the other person mess up.
Wow, Battle Tetris.
Yeah!
Ooh, this
I'm so
can't
excited.
get any better. There's so many levels to this, which is great, because not only do I love watching me some Tetris, but I want to watch lots and lots of it with lots of cool spins.
Yeah, and I want to see people throwing spells at each other and making each other super upset. So, all right, it looks like our game is ready. I am so excited. Let's begin the finals right now. It's a Team Trolls versus Team Scoots showdown. Get out there on Twitter. Make sure you're hashtagging the team that you want to support. Hashtag Team Scoots, hashtag Team Trolls. All right, well, the game will start here momentarily. We'll kick over to it in just a bit. As we mentioned before, we are going to be playing 3 individual sets of matches here. It is going to start with normal Tetris, we will move to sprint Tetris, and we will end with a battle mode as well.
That'll be really cool in that final round, because we'll pare it down from 4 to 2, right?
That's right.
So it's possible that we'll have 2 Team Trolls or 2 Team Scoots in that final. And if that's the case, that coach is going to be ecstatic.
I know, and that could very well happen, but our game is officially ready to start, so let's jump over to it right now. And there we have it. The countdown has begun. 3, 2, 1, go! And we're going to see all members here lined up against each other. And, like, I was waiting for one of these guys to be one of those super awesome Tetris players, like the guys that are just like 12 lines complete.
Well, it looks like we don't have one of those quite yet, but we do have some people who really know what they're doing in Tetris. Looks like some using the strategy of making sure they keep the pieces falling slow,
right,
taking their time, and then others making sure that as soon as they've got that piece in place, they're dropping it right away.
Is there anything more infuriating than the Z-shaped piece, though? That's what I need to know. I love Tetris to death. It's awesome. There's no greater feeling than getting one of the 4-length pieces when you need one the most. But as soon as I see that S piece, I rage.
Well, and it looks like, I'm not positive which team this person is on, but it looks like we've got our second in from the left. That person is just killing it. They are not letting themselves get any blocked out blank spaces, where we do have a blank square in the third slot there, and we have a strange blank L shape in the far right.
Yeah.
This person really knows what they're doing. They've played some Tetris before.
And it actually looks like Team Scoots right now is in first and second. So
wow,
a pretty big advantage to them is they are on the left 2 positions. Team Trolls is on the right 2 positions right now. So Team Trolls unfortunately bringing up the rear at the moment, and Scoots is way out in front.
Well, it looks like Scoots knows a thing or two about Tetris. And, you know, Tetris is an older game. I'm not going to say what that says about Sir Scoots. But it seems like he's really got that one under control this time.
Well, you know, this is a game at his speed. You know, it works out well. No, it's a puzzle game. It keeps his mind active in his old age. All right. So anyway, he is still way out front. You can see the scores running around the bottom.
I can hear you.
600 points, 5,400 points, 1,900 points, 2,400 points. Scoots has a massive advantage right now.
Absolutely. He's doing so well, and that's why we are allowed to tease him. He absolutely has really been a class act in this tournament. And both Crystal and Scott really fighting for these charities that they believe in, both of them going to kids who are hospitalized.
That's right. So really cool stuff that they're raising money for. I love Scoot's story about how he's going to purchase a device right away with the money that's donated for a Phoenix area hospital. So super cool stuff we're donating towards. Now, just as a note for everyone, no one is eliminated this round. All of these people will be redistributed into groups based on their performance for the next round. First place will play fourth place, second place will play third place, and then we'll have eliminations in sprint mode.
Great. So the people here, they're really vying for that goal to help give them the advantage going into the second round. That will hopefully be enough to push them into that third and final round.
Yep, absolutely. So looks like things are starting to wind down here. Just 10 seconds remaining. 9,200 points for our first place competitor all the way off to the left. And I think it's actually Jordan who claimed before that he would win any game. And it doesn't matter. He's going to take it home.
Wow, the scores really having a huge spread there. It looks like both of
44, 37,
Team Scoots
18,
players
19.
are
First place,
almost,
second place.
Are they doubling?
Yeah.
Done, gentlemen. Good shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nicely done.
That was a super
So now
strong
you'll
performance
tag off
right there.
against each other.
That was downright dominating. All right. So
Scoot's going to be pretty proud of that.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've got to see the Team Trolls players really step up if they want to take the next set. Because don't forget, since we're going into first versus fourth and second versus third, that means each of these sprint matches are a Team Scoots versus Team Trolls matchup.
Right. And so if both Team Scoots wins, that means Scoots is walking away with the money for his charity no matter which player wins. Then it'll really be about which player wants that prize package the most.
Well, Jordan was looking pretty strong right there with almost 10,000 points gathered in 3 minutes and a lot of lines accomplished as well. So again, the next version is sprint mode. They're going to pair off against each other, and it's a battle to the death. First person that gets 40 lines will end up advancing into the grand finals. If you don't get there before your opponent, though, you're knocked out of the event.
So this is about speed, not necessarily care.
Right.
All right. Well, it looks like
right.
we're ready.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it right now. Sprint mode game number 1 is going to start, and it looks like we are going to have a member of Team Scoots versus Team Trolls. Looks like that is going to be Jordan for Team Scoots there, and here we have it. Lines remaining is counted off to the left-hand side.
Off to a very strong start here.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good Tetris player, I have to say. 36 lines to 40 right now. This is very, very efficient.
And at this point, I mean, 1,200 plus points here in the first place against about a little over 500 in second place. It's going to take a lot if they want to bring it back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jordan is making very efficient work. A little bit of a mistake as he leaves a couple of holes down here at the bottom. Even though the player for Team Trolls has been a bit slower at this point, this is a very clean game. Oh, a bit of a mistake right there, though.
Yikes. Oh, Crystal looking a little bit disappointed as we got a bar crossing the divide on Crystal's player there.
And I think Scott is actually encouraged by that and quite happy to see it as a matter of fact, and that is going to be incredibly difficult for Team Trolls to be able to make their way back into this. Actually,
Oh, wow, did you
nice,
see that?
Robin.
They moved the vertical bar all the way underneath that overhang and managed to get 4 lines down there in the bottom and kind of close that rising problem area.
But look at this performance from Jordan right now.
Robin.
He's all the way down at the bottom of the puzzle. He's played very clean so far. He continues to knock lines out. He's twice the advantage of his opponent right now. Things are looking great for Team Scoots.
It would take a lot to bring it back from here.
My
And
player's name
as
is
we
Robin.
are in
Robin.
time-
Robin. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Robin. So Robin is murdering fools at Tetris right now. I didn't think I'd ever say those words in conjunction with each other in my life, but I just did.
Oh,
It looks
yes.
like he's just really seeing those patterns, getting them in place, and dropping the pieces immediately, as opposed to kind of moving back and forth deciding where the best place is. It looks like he's got map vision, if you will, that supersedes his opponents.
This is crazy.
Good job, Robin.
I've got to say, Robin has put on a very good performance so far. Just 2 lines remaining. He's actually going to get it here in just a second. I can't believe how quickly he's working through this.
Wow.
GG, Robin advances into the finals,
Good shit.
dominating
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
sprint level.
Amazing performance by Team Scoots
Good
there.
try, brother.
Unfortunately, having to say goodbye to a member of Crystal's team.
Yeah. So we have 3 members that are left in the tournament. 2 of them belong to Scoots. 1 is guaranteed a spot in that grand finals.
So Scott must be feeling pretty happy right now as he knows he may be donating $5,000 to the charity of his choice.
Right.
Crystal still has 1 more chance though. So now recap for us what this next match means.
So the next match, once again, is going to decide our second and final competitor in the grand finals. We have 1 more sprint match to play. It's Team Scoots versus Team Trolls once again. One of these people is going to advance into the grand finals. 1 person is going to get knocked out. Once we make it to those grand finals, though, we're actually going to play a best of 3. So there will be 3 individual matches of Tetris played in that super awesome battle mode where you can sling spells at your opponents.
All right, well, it looks like we're ready to go into that match as well. Should we head over there and see how the game goes?
Yes, let's do it right now. So the game is going to be starting momentarily here. And this is, again, going to be another sprint match. So it's first to 40 lines. And it looks like we are loaded into the game and starting now. Once again, Team Scoots getting off to an incredibly quick start.
And we can remember that Team Scoots is coming in with the advantage. They did win first and second place in that first round. So they have been paired up with arguably lesser opponents. So it's really going to take something for Crystal's team to emerge victorious here.
Well, looks like both players have made a couple of small mistakes so far, so this has not been an especially clean match up to this point. And there is still a potential for both teams to reign supreme. A very, very nice combo there, though, from Team Scoots. He's able to completely clear out his mistake. He's back down to the bottom line again, and things are looking great for him.
We're seeing a lot of times actual bare floor, if you will, on the side of Sir Scoots. You see that there are times where there's not even a piece below him. He's ready to just put something in there and almost start fresh from the beginning, where we've got a few empty spaces on Crystal's side.
Okay, so looking back at Scoot's side, once again, remaining in control here. He's gotten a lot of kind of weird, awkward pieces, though, that are going to create a few more errors. So he's going to have to work around those. But he's done a great job so far of minimizing. Ooh, as soon as I say that, he actually makes a big mistake. Now, as we see, Team Trolls is pretty far behind with still 38 lines. But if they get a couple of key pieces, they can even this up really quickly.
It looks like really what's coming into play here is experience and speed. People who really recognize these Tetris pieces quickly and can put them in the right place.
Yeah, no kidding. And we can see that Scoots picked up, maybe he didn't know it, but a couple of Tetris ringers here, as they have been absolutely dominating so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked a lot about the first-person versus third-person shooter, both Crystal and Scott having backgrounds in shooters.
Right.
And little did we know that what was really going to matter here was some skill in old-school Tetris.
And there we have it, 18 lines to 34. Again, almost double the score right now for Team Scoots. They are playing exceptionally efficient, and unfortunately it looks like the Team Trolls member may even end up hitting the top that will stop your sprint.
Nice.
It doesn't matter if you still have lines left, you will actually get knocked out.
Oh, wow. Really approaching the top, and that is what you do not want to do in Tetris, having to make decisions very quickly to keep themselves from reaching the top of the board over here for Team Trolls.
And he's going to need to make up some ground very quickly here, and I just don't see how that's going to happen, to be honest. Especially, look at Sir Scoot's team right there, knocking down those lines one by one, going through the last couple, even clearing out the last couple of mistakes and making sure that this is going to be an easy-peasy clear from here on out.
Wow, just 8 lines left, 7 lines left on the side of Sir Scoots, while we are looking at 33 and a top-touching stack over here for Team Trolls.
Wow. All right, so
over for Team Trolls, unfortunately.
Taunt them.
Yep, that is going to be GG. The last couple of lines will finish up here, but Sir Scoots, Team Scoots, hashtag Team Scoots, has 2 out of 2 in the grand finals.
Yes.
Very well played.
He must be feeling great right now, as he knows for sure that his charity is going to be getting $5,000 as a result. But what still has to be decided is which player from here at PAX is going home with a prize pack that includes an NVIDIA Shield, an Xbox One, a PS4,
Did he finish? Right?
a
Is he done?
keyboard, a mouse, an Astro audio system. I mean, just a ton of stuff they're going to have to pack in their carry-on.
Yeah, have to
Now the
pack?
real
I would
match.
be glad to pack
Oh,
that,
yeah.
to be honest.
I mean, if they don't want it, I'll take it home.
Oh
Just
yeah,
putting
no,
it
no
out
problem.
there.
If you guys have luggage concerns, I mean, I'll just take all your consoles.
Nope.
No big
Thank
deal.
you, man. Thank you.
Anyway, we are going to jump
Appreciate it.
into the grand finals, though. As we mentioned before, this is a little bit different. This is a battle mode. This is where they're going to go head-to-head. They're not just clearing lines, but they're also unlocking abilities that they can use to mess up their
Right.
opponent. So this is maybe even not going to come down to who's the best pure Tetris player, but who's the player who can best strategize with their abilities.
Absolutely. And we saw that both of these players are excellent Tetris players. So I don't know if I have an indicator of who's really going to come out on top. Do you have a prediction? Do you know from watching them?
Man, it's going to be really close. I have to say, on pure Tetris skill, Robin played really well. He
That's
took
true.
first place in the first event. He dominated the second round. I've got to say he's a favorite going into this, but who knows? Once we see some of those abilities, maybe he's thrown off once he doesn't have that pure perfect puzzle in front of him.
Absolutely. That can be really frustrating when you really have something beautifully built and then something gets thrown in that's just throws off your entire plan. You've got to not only recover physically by putting the pieces in the right place, but mentally that can throw you off a little bit. And I know that Tetris, although it's fairly simple, is a very mental game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times have you had a great Tetris run going, you're like, oh yeah, clear lines, going up levels, and you miss like 2 pieces, and you just want to rage quit everything. You're
Absolutely.
like, no, that's going to take so long for me to deal with. But so Tetris is very demanding as well. And as a matter of fact, we're going to bring up the prizes one more time that our players can possibly win if they take home this tournament. Our champion today will take home an Xbox One, a PS4, an NVIDIA Shield, an Astro A40 audio system, a Corsair K70 keyboard, and an M65 mouse. That's a ton of stuff.
Well, and I also know you mentioned Robin is here and performing really well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has previously been involved with the next level. Is that right?
That's what I understand as well. And he's looking very confident right now, and we can see that these teams that have known each other are coming back to future next levels, and they're starting to dominate.
Absolutely. So there is we're taking a break from kind of that pro scene, the esports scene,
Right.
where people are spending 10 hours a day practicing. We're not dealing with that. We're dealing with your friends who sit on the couch, play games together. But there are some faces that are really arising as the next level stars, and Robin could be one of them.
Yeah, they were interviewing me yesterday just to ask a few questions and get to know me. And to be totally honest, I think competitive gaming is a bit of a misnomer. We're all competitive gamers, to be totally honest.
Absolutely.
When I'm sitting down and playing Mario Kart against my brothers, you know I'm going to be first. Because when I'm not
Absolutely.
first, they will pay. So,
Oh yeah, family feuds have been built on less.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So this is nostalgic for me. This is exactly the kind of competitive gaming that I grew up with. And I think we are ready to actually jump into our last match about right now. So I'm super excited for it.
Let's